Yes, the executive consultant here. I can't tell you how happy I am that we're finally getting into a franchise that doesn't get stale after one or two movies because they're just recycling the same plot over and over and over again with Superman going and rolling and not getting broken bones or anything like that. Because Mission Impossible, you're saying bye bye, hey, hey, to Shrek. Let's talk about some Shrek right here today. Yes, yes, yes. We are back and we're over here talking about another franchise, arguably a better franchise than the last one. Not that the last one was unentertaining, but this is the one I want to talk about. Looking forward to it. We're talking about Shrek, and I'm not alone. I have a couple co-hosts with me. Let's bring in our regular co-host making a special appearance. Fresh off the stove because I heard she was cooking in the background. I don't know what she was doing. E Boogie, what's going on with you tonight?
You know firsthand that I was cooking because I literally told you what I was preparing, but that's fine. Hi, guys. So glad to be back. I'm going to just receive that Mission Impossible shade because I fully understand wholeheartedly why Chris can relate to this film.
I'm sorry. I have to ask. How can I relate to this? Oh, okay. I get it slow. Okay. Let's bring on somebody who actually makes some sense. Actually, no, he picked Firestarter.
He makes dollars.
Yeah, he picked Firestarter, so he doesn't make any sense. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Eddie now. Vic, what's going on?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Had a good time watching this movie. Love everything that came out of Donkey's mouth because it's Eddie Murphy. I mean, Eddie Murphy is just the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just great. This is great. I had a great time. Can't wait to talk about it.
Well, I mean, you said it in 14 different ways when you were rambling on there, but I guess you can't wait to talk about it. Let's bring on a real special guest. I haven't seen him since, I don't know, Sonic 2. I don't know. He's doing Stranger Things. I have no idea what he's doing. But let's bring on the originator of the Trio of Destiny. I mean, that name is very June, I'll say. All right, Bad Guy Jack, what's going on with you tonight?
Such a great introduction, Stevie Wonders. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be a part of the main timeline of UPRE, and I can't wait to talk about Shrek. So thank you guys for having me. So hi.
Glad to have you.
You are such a gem. Victor or Eddie, you're great. And Chris or
the man.
I'm ready to talk about stuff. I'm tired of you. So let's go.
Hey ho.
I was getting ready to say hi. That was terrible.
Oh, it's hey ho ho.
Hey ho ho.
Hey ho ho. It's the newer versions of the executive consultants. Like, I mean, you like them? The hey.
Yeah, especially the whole part. But what are we talking about?
We're talking about ogres. We're talking about
a lot of corn appearing on this show. Okay. Shrek, let's talk about a little synopsis. This is something about a ogre, monster, whatever you want to call him, who has his swamp taken over by a whole bunch of fairy tale creatures because they were evicted by Lord Farquaad from someplace, whatever his name is, from some other place, blah, 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 blah. He has to go rescue Princess, blah, blah, blah. Princess has some secret, blah, blah, blah. That's the movie of Shrek. Now, I did not want to see this movie at all. I was like, oh, animated. I don't want to see this thing. I'm a grown man, 18. Grown man. Don't want to see it. So then I was forced to watch it by God knows what woman. I don't know. And I enjoyed it. I laughed.
No, stop lying to the folks. Did you really do that?
Yeah, that was a shoot. I laughed.
He gave it a shoot, not a boot.
Anyway, I enjoyed it. So many funny scenes in this movie. I did not expect to be that entertained, but I was.
Just because
Right?
you don't know the reference.
Oh man.
Cheers to you, madam. Cheers to you.
Yeah,
But
this man drive you to drink.
And I enjoyed it so much.
You're
I was glad to pick it for this thing. But that's me. Go ahead, E Boogie. What you got for us?
Now, Shrek, let me tell you something. Talk about get stale after the first one. Okay, I'm not going to go straight into that. What I will say is that this movie, just like Harry Potter, just like Disney princesses, just like freaking, I don't know, the British invasion, James Bond, this movie swept the nation when it came out. And the reason is because it took fairy tales like the Brothers Grimm and fully just flipped it on its head and made it into a more bearable satirical masterpiece. It totally used everything that is standard and stereotypical of fairy tales and some of our treasured favorites, like, I don't know, Cinderella, Snow White, Robin Hood, which I think is actually based on reality, a real person. The point is, it takes all of these fairy tale elements, pulls it together, and not only puts it to a fire soundtrack, okay, guys? Fire soundtrack, but all of covers, obviously. But also, it just brings some of our favorite actors together, and we get to experience their vocal talents. I thought it was great. The writing was impeccable. It's just really genuinely funny, and it's one of those genuinely great movies for families. No matter how old you are, you're going to enjoy this. There's something for everyone. It's just so fun. Now, Shrek is such an admirable protagonist because he's so relatable to your average Joe, specifically someone like Chris, who puts on this front, like he just doesn't want to be bothered with anybody, and he just kind of hates everything, right? Hates people, hates experiences, life experiences, and just very one note in that way, and does things specifically to drive people away. But
No, I don't want to be.
You see throughout this film that there's more to Shrek than meets the eye. He's not just this kind of repulsive, bald ogre of a person, but he's got a heart of gold.
Down from your own.
He's got a heart of gold, and what he truly needs is love. What he truly needs is companionship. And it's through the forced companionship of Donkey that he realizes that about himself. And I think he kind of always knew it, but he was too afraid to be vulnerable and open up to anyone around him because he's hideous. And I'm not going to say Chris is hideous, but like his energy is. So
if people think I'm hideous, that means to stay away from me. I'm happy with that.
I could fully see. Well, yeah, like I said, I could see why you connected with this film so much because, like an onion, you're layered, and there's more to you than meets the eye. Even though you try to put people off,
you had to do that quick.
We still gravitate toward you, and you still show up here every week to meet and greet and be in camaraderie with these people that you know and love. So back to this film. I loved it so much. Lord Farquaad is one of my favorite villains ever. And the best thing about this movie is the message, not just specifically about Shrek himself being, a book behind a cover. But this is really like one of those movies that has some political elements to the plot, much like Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever movie in that way. There's an underlying message, and it's about white supremacy and assimilation. And we're not going to stand for it. We're going to rebel. And everyone from every race, specifically those magical people, are gonna unify and rebel, and we're gonna get our swamp back, and that's what matters.
Gentrification was real in this movie, so I can see why you would say that. Thank you.
It's not just gentrification; it's because it was essentially. It's reminded me of the internment camps during I think it was World War II.
World War II,
where they wrangled all the people who were of Asian descent, not just Japanese people, but literally anyone who was of Asian descent, and put them in freaking concentration camps, essentially, which is what they tried to do here. And it's not right. It's a little Manifest Destination too, just taking over the swamp for your federal needs, replacing these magic people. So there's a lot of things going on, and yet there's still racism. It's amazing. That's all I got.
Eddie, what's going on?
Well, the first time I saw this movie, I felt like it was for kids, but the second time I saw this movie, it really felt more like it was an animated movie for adults. Like, this movie felt very Family Guy.
Whoa!
Because there's a lot of like little innuendos there that kids wouldn't necessarily get. And then the other thing is that I wonder I wonder what the perspective is of somebody who's under 20, because this movie came out in 2001, and prior to that we had fairy tales and books, and we all knew about the Three Little Pigs and Pinocchio and all of these people. Now I don't really see that information being spread like that anymore. So I don't know if the kids, if I'm curious to see if this ages well with kids, because a lot of those little references hit because I knew the story already. I knew about Robin Hood. I knew about Pinocchio and all of that. So that was funny to me. You know what I mean? Donkey, like I was saying before, I feel like anything that Eddie Murphy touches is gold. You know what I'm saying? And this was amazing. And just everything that he says, it was just hilarious. Even the little things that was just stupid. You ever hear somebody say parfait? And I'm like, parfait? Yeah. I can't even do it, because just everything that he does is just so funny.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because he said everybody likes parfait. I can't stand parfait. I could not relate.
This guy.
What, you eating slugs? Like, what's happening?
Why would I eat slugs?
This guy.
It's a Shrek reference.
Way, man. The salt of the earth, ladies and gentlemen. The salt of the earth.
You get quicker with that.
Ladies and gentlemen. What? I love it. Anyway, hey, ho, ho. Hey, wear the round ones. You should be wearing the round ones. That's the ones you should be wearing. Anyway,
These are look more for women. Why would I wear these?
That's true. That's what I know. Oh, but you're.
I see they were a backup though. Can we see how they look?
When I'm next time in DC, you can put them on and we'll see how it looks. Okay, how about that?
No, on you, on your head.
But anyway, long story short, it was really cool, this thing, because. And I wonder how this aged, because fairy tales are not really a thing anymore. I wonder if they are. I don't have any kids, so I wonder if they are. You know what I mean? Those of you that have children in your lives, are they?
Frozen.
Yeah, I mean, no. I'm just. Oh, well, okay.
Frozen is a fairy tale. Now I'm saying this, and I hope I don't.
No, but I mean,
they're putting every fairy tale they make now. They have to put a gay character in there. It's like the 20.
It's called representation.
Yeah, but they have this. So it's different. I'm just saying it's changing. That's all. But
because they used to erase them.
Yes. So it's like they're trying to make sure that everybody feels included in all of it, because it's not just the gay people. It's anything that's being represented now. They're trying to put in not only fairy tales, almost every TV show and almost every movies, including reboots, because it's
rightfully so. Rightfully so. Anyway, can I say something real quick? I really love Eddie's background, because it's like almost half of our UPRE cast is represented. We have Mike as Lord Farquaad, because he always trying to run stuff.
Have you seen Mike? Mike is not.
We got Chris as Shrek.
Have you seen Mike?
And
I don't think you've seen
we
Mike.
got Eddie as Donkey. Because he's the funniest, right? He's got heart.
Well, let's find out. Let's find E Boogie if we're going to do that, right? Because I'm pretty sure
Princess Fiona as the ogre. I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you ruined my joke.
All right.
And then now we go.
All right, so yeah. But listen. The moral of the story in this movie was don't judge a book by its cover, right? So that's clear, right? That because he was ugly, she was ugly, and then they're like, "Oh, you think I'm cute? Oh, okay, let's get together," which is something that happens in real life. You know what I mean? That kind of thing happens a lot. And so, it's cool. Like two ugly people, they get together and then they become cute. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I really like that about this movie. But what I'm curious about, like I said before, did it age well? Because
two ugly people get together, you become cute.
I was gonna say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I guess that's how I have my children. I don't know.
Is the main message I got from this, but sure.
All right, but like, I'm curious. I'm just curious to see if this aged well. You know what I mean? Like, because you're right. Beauty is in the eye, in the the eye of the beholder. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you could think a sunflower's ugly, or you could think it's beautiful. So it all depends. You know what I'm saying? Some people, anyway. But
Send it or Rod, please.
What? But listen, I like the movie more than anything because it's just Eddie Murphy. You know what I mean? Everything else was cool, but Eddie Murphy just, bottom line, just oh man, I'm telling you. And mind you, and here's the other thing: the reason why I thought it was for adults. It was this one time, there's one part where right after he met the dragon, and he was just like, "Hold on, what you doing with that? Wait, hey, don't go down there." And mind you, if you rewind it and you listen, I was just like, "Hold up, did they really put that in this movie?" Like she was about to go down on him, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is not for kids. This is really not for kids because that dragon was ready. Tiffany Haddish ready, ladies."
I changed my mind. I'm the dragon.
Yeah,
I realized that felt like a come on, Eddie, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I love it. But listen, that was fire because the thing is that I didn't peep that the first time. You know what I mean? I didn't peep those little things the first time. So now seeing this now, I was just like, oh, wait a minute now.
I can agree with that. There's a lot of things in this movie I didn't notice the first time I watched it. And I thought I was a grown man. I was like, okay, now I'm like,
this is 2001.
You hadn't even eaten groceries yet by when you watched this.
I mean, if you're talking about what I think you're talking. All right, go ahead, Vic. Finish up.
But yeah. I mean, when this came out, I was 19, so I know that I laughed at it, but I didn't. I think I enjoyed it now more than I did then. So, and that now I'm done because I rambled for a while. Go ahead, Jack. How you doing, Jack?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I didn't interrupt anybody because I know I can do that and whatnot. But hi, ladies and gentlemen. I know I get the floor now to talk about Shrek. Great job on everybody talking about this movie. I remember this movie watching it in 2001. And God rest my father, so he took me to go see this movie. And he did not want to go see this movie at all. He saw this animated movie and he said, this movie looked like for kids. And I was a kid. So I was like, yeah. And there was spots in this movie. You guys talked about the adult parts of this movie. There's a spot where Shrek says something over the lines. He sees Fiona and she says, oh, don't you have a steed? And he's like, yeah, I gotta go save my ass, to make a joke on Eddie Murphy being yeah, see, that is funny. Vic, don't interrupt me, I'm talking. But yeah, this movie was I thought this movie was great. And there's certain movie and like you guys were mentioning, there's certain spots of this movie that I saw this in 2001. I was probably 12, 13. A lot of spots I saw my father laughing extra hard, and I did not understand why he was laughing. Eddie Murphy was tremendous in this movie. Michael Myers was great in this movie. I forgot who did Farquaad, and Fiona was played by Cameron Diaz, who I thought it was a great cast. I thought it was a tremendous cast. it's something I did not realize until years later. This was based off a book that they did somewhere in the 90s, Shrek. There was a book called Shrek. I did not know that until years later as a certain thing on YouTube I watched, and they mentioned, hey, this was, I don't know if they had the fairy tales, I forget all the details, but there was an ogre, and I think they obviously took liberties here in this movie. But looking back at this stuff, this was a great movie. This is a movie I can watch in my 30s and sit here and kind of laugh and go like, wow, this was funny. This was hilarious. It was very colorful too. Look at the cat. Look at Shrek, this bright green. You got Donkey, this gray, like the hair color on Chris. You got Farquaad, who I don't know whose height he matches over here. I can't say that. I thought it was a great movie. I enjoyed it. I couldn't wait to when you guys said, yeah, we're gonna do Shrek the franchise. I was like, oh, I watched that because I didn't watch the other thing y'all did. I didn't do that.
It was a Mission Impossible.
Do not interrupt me, sir. Stop. I am talking. But this movie is great. It's fun. You guys should go see it. And if you got kids, you should take your kids to go see this movie too. So this movie it's a fun movie. I can't say and I do want to throw in a quote here because he's not here, but the tribal chief of staff, he used layers, and I couldn't help but sit here and say, oh, you used a Shrek reference on me when he said these onions and they have layers, and I didn't get it as a kid. I was like, what does that mean? Onions make you cry. I've seen all these things, what they can do. But there's layers, meaning he can be angry, he can be sad, he can be funny, he can have all these different layers. So I think this movie was great, and I just wanted to digest that in I don't know, under a minute or two. So that's fine.
Shout out to E Boogie, who said that John Lithgow played Lord Farquaad, and I don't know why I didn't hear his voice until now, because John Lithgow, he has very distinctive voice, so I should have known him as soon as I heard him, and I didn't.
Fair enough.
Shout out to E for finding that information, and
Good
shout
job.
out to Vic for mentioning that the joke. Actually, no, I think Ron mentioned it, but one of my favorite jokes in the movie was when he saw the castle and he was like, I think he's overcompensating for something. I don't know why that was funny.
Yes.
Plus, he also said a line he said in Austin Powers where he said, you're going the right way for a smack bottom.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I never forgot he said that in this movie.
I feel like Fat Bastard inspired this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Straight up. Like, I just hear Fat Bastard coming out.
Hold up. I'm getting a phone call. I'm sorry. This is bad. Keep going.
Who are you?
Hello?
The tribal chief.
And then he's
muted. Anyway.
Thank you. But this movie was great. I just want to throw it out there. This movie was great. It was fun. It was it's like 22 years old, but I just think at that time it was just impressive. I mean, to me, it's in that category like when you first see Toy Story, and I can't think of any other 3D movies at the moment. I kid you not. Once we go off air, I'm like, oh my god, I couldn't think of that. But it just really stood out, and I think the fairy tale characters, and you guys mentioned it, having those little details in there, like the gingerbread man who, for whatever reason, his legs were broke, and even something to mention about
being tortured for information.
He's
being tortured for information.
Absolutely. And then also something like the 3 bears, and then Mama Bear was a bearskin rug. I didn't even realize that until years later. It was like they killed her.
How about the bird and the princess singing like with the bird the way that
like Snow White, right?
Nope. Aurora from Sleeping Beauty would sing in the woods. But the bird blew up. They zoom in on the bird's nest and the little.
That was Fiona.
She's a princess. Dark. She's gonna take care of. Yeah, you're thinking, oh, she's thinking of the children. That's wonderful. And it goes straight from that.
Honestly, frying eggs. That was a very dark scene. I can't believe they did that.
But you know what?
I hate to interrupt, but that phone call was important. Apparently, Cedar Superior has some recasts that she wanted me to throw in here to rush y'all so y'all can do whatever show y'all about to do. So I'm going to show her recast real quick, and then we're going to head into commercial. I can't believe this woman. I mean, just the boss for some reason. Ladies and gentlemen, apparently C has a recast, and the first person she wants to recast is this guy right here. who I don't know why she thinks this is accurate, but she wanted to
Here we go.
I think he said that earlier, that
we
it
go.
was him. And that is completely untrue. I'm not Harley Green, right? Nor am I Ogre. I am Chris. I'm the executive consultant. I'm the absolute one of excellence. That's me.
I love to have the mustache.
That's fine. This person is also supposed to be recasted as somebody, and she once again she said, I disagree, but she said put him up there, and when the boss said put her up there, I'll put him up there, ladies and gentlemen. Our very own bad guy Jack as the donkey. And that's a part.
Oh, I know why, because I'm so funny.
Yeah, right. C said it. I'm not. I told C that I want to do a UPR battles. You and Ron are doing, in my opinion, should be Donkey versus Mushu from Mulan. I think that would be very interesting.
Ooh,
I like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Find out we're reviewing next Thursday as well as the next Tuesday. Stay with us. You're watching Unpopular Review.
Something in the mist! Shut the doors! Shut the doors!
What's going on? It's death.
I told you coming here was a bad idea.
They're my parents.
Hello, they locked you in a tower. Wasn't she supposed to kiss Prince Charming and break the spell? Like to know how it could get any worse.
Hello, Harold. We need to talk.
Actually, Fairy Godmother.
You remember my son, Prince Charming? Fiona and Charming will be together.
That's Mike Myers.
Oh, let's keep him. Say what? Come on, donkey, look at him.
Eddie Murphy.
I'm melting! I'm melting!
Cameron Diaz.
Shrek?
And Antonio Banderas.
For you, baby, I could be.
Shrek 2.
I would give that cat the cat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Unpopular Review Entertainment. I am the executive consultant. Over there is E Boogie, Bad Guy Jack, as well as Eddie, reviewing the movie Shrek. Join us this coming Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. as we unveil to you the next pick in the Stephen King novels, which is none other than The Mist. And then, of course, right here, back here next Tuesday at 8 o'clock for our review of Shrek 2. Looking forward to that. But once again, we're in Shrek, and we're into our final thoughts as well as thumbs up, thumbs down. E Boogie, ladies first. We'll start with you.
Ooh, ladies, women should always come first. Number one.
I won't touch that.
And anyway, maybe you should accept that as your ministry. So look, this movie, like I said, really turned everything on its head. And Fiona is a feminist icon. And it just came in it was very timely. We were fresh off the 90s Disney princess, whatever, revamp, if you will. And we needed something fresh. We needed something new. And this movie definitely brought it with that. It was also perfect for families because there were adult jokes. There were kid jokes. There were adult kid jokes. There were kid adult jokes. It was very just perfectly cast with the voices. Michael Myers, this is some of his best work, in my opinion. He's done a lot of quality things in live action, but this is some of his best work, and it's just his vocal work. It just goes to show you that the talent in this movie are just so multi-talented, multi-level, multifaceted, whichever multi you choose. And it's so layered, like an onion. 2 thumbs up for me. Maybe we'll get it this year. Those thumbs. Maybe. 2 thumbs up.
Eddie, we're on you.
This was a good time. Thumbs up. I got Jack.
Jackard?
I'm sorry. I just wanted to wait and be polite because I'm like the guest here and whatnot. And I appreciate you guys letting me be on here. I know, yes. I appreciate you guys letting me be on here. I really enjoyed Shrek. I mean, it brings me back to God, I can't believe it was like 22 years ago. And like I said, went to go see it with my dad, and it was a fun movie then. It's a fun movie now. So it holds a special place because I went to go see it with the man who did not want to see this movie. And it had the adult humor, it had the child humor, and it had a lot of layers to it. And enough milk to be able to be milked. Some movies, they do one movie, but they're like, hey, we can have these other movies. That's why if you guys tune in, you guys can see us when we review Shrek 2. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I thought the soundtrack was fun, even though like when I heard Smash Mouth, I was like, even back then I said, oh snap, they're still around. I thought I was impressed. I was impressed with them. I don't know why. I just thought like they were at a Taco Bell and they fell off a cliff, but I'm glad to know that they didn't fall off a cliff. So nonetheless, don't roll your eyes at me, Vic. How dare you? And thumbs up.
I love this franchise. It was a great
Thank
franchise, and this was a great movie. And it actually gets better in my opinion with Shrek 2. Spoiler alert. That movie had me in tears. So four thumbs up for Shrek. And that's it for us. So thank you so much for watching us tonight. For E Boogie, for Bad Guy Jack, for Eddie, I'm the Executive Consultant. We will see you next time right here on Unpopular Review. Who was that for?